Good day, everyone. This is Miss Twinkle, and welcome to our PE3 class. Our topic for today is about personal safety protocols during moderate to vigorous dance activities or physical activities participation. At the end of the session, the students will be able to 1. Explain the conditions related to physical activity participation. 2. Enumerate the personal safety protocols during moderate to vigorous dance activities. And lastly, we have identify the factors in creating personal safety protocols. First up, we have 4 factors in creating your personal safety protocol. Can you give at least 2? One, we have knowledge and awareness. It is really important to recognize possible harmful situations and identify steps to take to lessen the risks of accidents or incidents. For example, never ever plug electrical devices, for example, speaker, when your hands are wet. So it can lead to any harmful situation. So it is really important to be aware and to be knowledgeable of things or harmful situations so that you can avoid them too. Next, we have ability. So ability is one factor in creating your personal safety protocols. Why? You have to be realistic in judging yourself, your ability, and your teammates' abilities and skill level. For example, in cheer dancing, you have to avoid doing stunts if you do not feel confident about it. If you know that you are not capable of doing stunts, so do not do stunts. So you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be realistic in the judgment of yours, your ability, and your teammates' abilities. Next factor, we have environmental conditions. One must consider the environmental hazards that might cause an accident. For example, you will perform on a wet floor. That is really dangerous. Next factor, state of mind. So always be aware of your own and your teammate's condition. For example, your teammate is tired, distressed. They cannot focus on the routine in the dance. So that is one factor. Teammate who are under the influence of alcohol and drugs, it is likely to meet an accident. So these are the 4 factors in creating personal safety protocols: knowledge and awareness, ability, environmental conditions, and state of mind. Now, as you engage in moderate to vigorous physical activities, you need to observe some personal safety precautions to avoid certain conditions related to physical activity participation. These conditions includes dehydration, overexertion or overtraining, hyperthermia, and hypothermia. Now let's start with dehydration. What is dehydration, by the way? Dehydration means your body loses more fluids than you take in. If it's not treated, it can get worse and become a serious problem. So, it occurs when you use or lose more fluid than you take in, and your body doesn't have enough water and other fluids to carry out its normal functions. So if you don't replace lost fluids, you will get dehydrated. So that is dehydration. So in the sweating of our body on a normal day, the body loses approximately about 2.5 liters of water. That's during the process of urination, perspiration. No? So for the thirst, a sensation of dryness in the mouth, that is very self-explanatory. So these are the safety precautions You have to drink at least 16 to 20 ounces of fluid 2 hours before exercising. You have to sip 4 to 6 ounces of fluid every 15 to 20 minutes while you exercise. After the physical or exercise, you must drink enough water to replace the body fluid you lost during the activity or exercise. Next, we have overexertion or overtraining. What does it mean? When we say overexertion, that's when you push yourself too hard. It's known as overexertion. So this involves physical or mental effort that is beyond your current abilities. So it depends on many factors such as your age, your medical history. For example, what are the examples of overexertion? So overexertion is the second leading cause of on-the-job injuries and accidents. Frequent causes of overexertion includes mga lifting in the gym, pushing, pulling, holding, carrying of objects. So these injuries can lead to pain, medical bills, and physical therapy. Okay. What are the safety precautions? So the two are the safety precautions to avoid overexertion or overtraining. Hyperthermia. What is a hyperthermia? Hyperthermia is an abnormally high body temperature caused by a failure of the heat regulating mechanisms of the body to deal with the heat coming from the environment. It includes one disease, which is heat stroke. So, it is when your body absorbs or generates more heat than it can release. So, mas mo-absorb pa sila o mas mo-absorb pa ang atong lawas o higher level of heat than sa level nga atong i-release. So, what is the normal body temperature of the human body? It is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So, any body temperature above 99 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that is too warm. And hyperthermia, when you say hyperthermia, it is usually the result of overexertion in hot or humid conditions. So, that is hyperthermia. So, we have tips here when exercising in the heat or hot weather. So, read those. Of course, you have to wear clothing that breathes. Mga luag, no? So, it allows proper circulation of the blood and it cools the body. So, in exercising, I advise you to wear light colors like white, you know. Next, we have hypothermia. When we say hypothermia, this is very dangerous condition. So, it can happen when a person is exposed to extremely cold temperatures. If hyperthermia is heat, hypothermia is exposed to cold temperature. What are the symptoms of hypothermia? Shivering, slow or shallow breathing, weak pulse. What else? Pale, cold skin. Those are the signs of hypothermia. So these are the safety precautions for hypothermia. Now, we have a question here. Is it safe to exercise in cold weather? You have to dress warmly in layers and do not stay out in very cold temperature for too long. It's not safe, but pwede siya if you will follow safety precautions. Okay? Now, what is the greatest cause of hypothermia? So, in hypothermia, It occurs when more heat is lost than the body can make. In most cases, it occurs after long periods in the cold. Common causes: being outside without enough protective clothing in winter. So that hypothermia is the effect of that um, situation. Now we have helpful tips to be followed. Okay. So, it is suggested that during moderate to vigorous physical activities, everyone should look into the following guidelines and tips that can help lessen the likelihood of injury. First, we have warm up or warming up. So this is very essential. It is really important because it prepares our body for the grind, for the strenuous activity that comes from engaging in physical activity. So it should perform before, during, or after activities. Of course, before any strenuous activities. Second tip: fluid replacement. So drink always enough water. When? Before, during, and after physical activity. Next one, we have cool down. So this means a gradual reduction in activity level for 5 to 10 minutes. So this part of exercise, it allows your heart rate and breathing to return to normal levels. Lastly, we have stretching. So stretching, it helps improve flexibility. It can also be part of warm-ups and cool downs. So in doing the stretching, keep the following in mind. You have to stretch before and after physical activity. You have to stretch gently and slowly. Ayaw bigla kay basig malisa ka. Hold stretches for a minimum of 10 seconds. Then breathe slowly and easily. So follow those tips in doing the stretching. Okay, so that could be all, and thank you. Does anyone have any questions? You may feel free to contact me on my Facebook account, Winkle May Bongay, and or you may email me to my email account, tbongay@hnu.edu.ph. After listening to this discussion, comment down below at least three takeaways regarding the lesson, and that will be your attendance for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day, everyone.